A couple vlogs ago, I had the idea and mentioned that, you know, with these vlogs, you guys see just the absolute best moments and see how fun it is up here in the Pacific Northwest, but there's a lot of downsides in things that you don't see, and I wanted to, for an entire vlog, explore those things. Because for every single one of these moments... Go look! Go ahead! There is also one of these moments.
It's okay.
I want to put like a fat disclaimer across the front here. All of these things that I'm about to essentially complain about are going to be very first world problems, and I recognize that how incredibly blessed we are to be able to spend the summer up here in Washington and Oregon. And so a lot of this is just going to sound like, oh, whiny me, pity me. I just felt like it was important to document some of the things that you wouldn't normally see, and some of the things that make being nomadic and traveling for the summer with a baby trickier. Starting with our living space, which I don't believe I've ever given you guys a tour of. So here's a tour of the entire place. Here's the living room, here's the office, here's the dining room, here's the kitchen, here's the bedroom, here's the bathroom. Now to walk through the bedroom to the bathroom, I have exactly this much space between the bed and the wall. As for the bathroom, it's a very comfortable, tiny little nook where you're basically just, you know, you're hugging the wall. You're hugging the wall the whole time. Now for the kitchen in particular, there's one major thing that is not here, and I wonder if you can guess, because, I mean, aside from the very small fridge and the lack of a pantry, the one thing we really miss is a dishwasher, because every day this is what our dishes look like. Because every time we use something, we have to wash it by hand. And the other tricky part is that with a kitchen this small, it's really hard to cook, and so we eat out a lot, which is probably not good for our bodies. It's not good on our wallets or our body, and I miss the gym, and I miss the routine, and I miss having a good, large kitchen that we can cook in.
Yeah, but they're good.
Okay. There's a lot of other things about living here that are, I would say, difficult that we miss. Like, one of the things is the vacuum here is absolute garbage, and just that like small thing of missing our vacuum at home is something that you wouldn't really think about, but you miss your own cleaning supplies simply. I mean, overall, I think this place it's very small. It's like 500 and if I had to guess, it's probably about 500 square feet. You think it's smaller than 500 square feet? I don't know, maybe I'll look it up and then I'll maybe put it on the screen. We're constantly on top of each other in here. There's just a lot of tricky parts about this, such as doing your laundry, laundry day. Every time we have to do laundry, we gotta come to a laundromat here. Not only is it inconvenient, but because it's a 15-minute drive, but it's also expensive. It's like $10 per load. Another thing that's difficult is just normal chores like taking out the trash. Because this building is really, really old, and to take the trash out, you gotta go down the longest, steepest flight of stairs I've ever seen inside of an apartment building, just to go to the back alley to throw the trash in the dumpsters. Now you might be thinking, is that my camera lens that's making these stairs look crooked? And the answer is no, they're just that crooked because this building is that old. So to demonstrate how dangerous and difficult this is, let's have Lacey do it. All right, Lacey, I'm ready for you to take out this trash. Now, aside from obviously the things about like living here in this temporary apartment in this Airbnb, the things about Washington that are tricky is obviously one of the things that we forgot about, but we're quickly reminded of, and that's traffic. It's not quite LA traffic, but it's Seattle traffic, and it's nonstop, it's every day, and it's annoying. As much as you see Granger having fun and running around on beaches and in the woods and on trails and all that, there's lots of moments where she's just screaming in the car seat. or the nights where she doesn't want to go to bed. It's almost 8 o'clock at night. Granger should have been asleep a little while ago. Lacey and I are both super tired, and we made the mistake of giving Granger ice cream tonight. So she's got the ice cream runs. There's a lot of those moments that we don't show, but they happen. This next one is tricky because I feel like Arizona has gotten so expensive that the difference between living here and living there really isn't that significant anymore. But just in general, Seattle is definitely a more expensive place to live. Aside from obviously the housing and the rents are more, gas is also more. I find that groceries are pretty more expensive. Seattle doesn't have any income tax, so that's kind of nice. And obviously you're not driving as much, so you do save money on gas. But there is this X factor that Seattle has where I liken it to like death by 1,000 cuts. Like every time you go somewhere just to buy something, you have to end up spending more money than you anticipated. To give you an example of this, let's say that right now I wanted to go to Seattle to Pike Place to get a dessert like a pierogi. There's the toll, $3.25 to pass, or over $5 if you pay by mail, but that's the cost right now to cross this bridge to get to the city. The city. Plus $10 for parking.
Thank you.
All right, so we got it. So after the cost of the bridge, parking, and then this $6 pierogi, this $6 item then becomes $19.25, but let's just call it 20 bucks. The other factor that we don't really talk about or don't really show is loneliness. We're always together, and we're always kind of living together and going places together and pretty much living on top of each other, and that part's a lot. There's no breaks, especially with the kid. Like there's no babysitter, and so like I love you, but I would be nice to, you know what I mean? Like we have friends that live here, Corin and Errol, and we get to see them, but you don't get to see them every single day, and we don't have any family out here. We don't have other friends with kids. You know, it's so weird. You're in such a densely populated city, and especially down here in Kirkland, like you're always surrounded by people. There's people everywhere, but yet you feel like lonely because there's no community. Is there anything that I miss that you feel like is difficult about living up here or living nomadically for a few months that they should know about? Or that you would want your future self to remember?
Okay, let me think.
We talked about the vacuum.
I miss my TV. I miss my bed. That bed gives me a headache.
Yeah.
And we have to switch sides constantly. And I miss my friends and family and like being able to take Granger to go see her other little friends that are her age.
I think the point is that we like, this should be an obvious thing, but we miss having a home. Moving every month it's pretty taxing because as soon as you kind of feel comfortable and like you're getting settled, you're on to the next spot, and that one's kind of tough.
Maybe it's not for us.
Okay, anyways, I think I'm enough. I'm done rambling about all the things that make it tough. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, the weather up here is incredibly amazing, and we're by the water, and we're in Kirkland, and we're seeing the most beautiful nature every single day, and we're spending time together as a family and going on hikes and having adventures. So I wouldn't trade any of it for the world. But these are some of the things that were difficult that we maybe didn't show or didn't document or I didn't talk about that I think in the future I'd want to remember, because why not?
As we go on,
Okay, stop.
We remember all the times we
This is what I'm talking about.
together.
All right, I'm done.